Hello everyone, this is Paul Martin here with Landis Technologies. That's me right there. Today I'm going to be showing you a brief overview of Attendant Pro console for Skype for Business. This is going to be just a simple training video. The idea is that by the time you're done with this short video, you will be able to operate and use Attendant Pro. It's a very simple program, so it doesn't take a lot of learning, as you'll see as we go along here. But this will just take you through the different functions of answering calls, transferring, finding your contacts, and etc. First of all, we want to make sure that we are signed in to Attendant Pro. And to do that, we're simply signing into Skype for Business. You sign into Skype for Business like you always would. You see my native client here is running in the background. And once you're signed into Skype for Business, your credentials will automatically show up here in Attendant Pro. So no additional sign-in is needed. Once you're signed in, you open Attendant Pro and you're set to go. Attendant Pro is broken up into three different main panels. You have your incoming calls and transferring calls over here on the left, and I'll show you how that is done here in a moment. The center area here is your contact groups, a list of contacts that you can organize into different groups, as you see I have here, however is most efficient for you. And these are going to be contacts that you're accessing frequently, and they're close at hand for easy transferring. And then the right panel over here is simply your contact search. This is for finding names in your address book that may not be a part of your favorites list here or contact groups, but you can easily find who you're looking for in your address book. And I'll explain some more about that as we go along. So for answering calls, your incoming calls will show up in the top left corner of the console as you see here. And I will bring a call in and just show you some of the different functions of answering and transferring. So if you see a call comes in here, it's in clear list format, and I can easily see it will list multiple if there's multiple calls ringing at one time, and I can easily click to answer, and it drops down to the current call window here, and that's how I know I'm connected. Once I have a current call, there's a number of things. First of all, you can see the caller ID clearly. There is a contact notes field that I can enter notes on a particular caller. Maybe this is a spam caller that we want to make sure that we don't waste any time on. So I can make a note of that. The next time this caller calls back, I'll see that note and I will know not to waste any time. Then you have your different transfer options here at the bottom. First of all, a basic hold just puts that call on hold, and it drops down here to the handled call area where you can easily retrieve that again. Call parking will simply put the call on hold, but it will also give it a pickup code that anyone can access using this code here, pound 811. If someone dials pound 811 from their phone, they will retrieve this hold. So that's just another option with putting a call on hold. Park for is an option where you can park it for someone, but it also sends them an IM. So if I park for my contact, it will put it on park, but now it will send him an IM with the pickup code as a clickable link. So a nice easy way to communicate that there's a call for someone by simply parking it for them, and it'll send them an IM with that pickup code. Your different transfers, then you have a regular blind transfer. This simply sends a call to your contact. If they don't answer, it will go into their voicemail. Just a simple blind transfer, we call that. Safe transfer will send it to your contact, but if they do not answer, it will return back to me. So I'll do an example here. Let me do a safe transfer to my contact John. Away it goes, and if he chooses not to answer, or maybe he stepped away from his desk and there was no answer, instead of going into his voicemail, it will return back to me here in the handled call area. There's even a little indicator that says it is returned from John Smith. So I know that this was for John, it returned, there was no answer, and I can answer and redirect to someone else. Consult transfer is allowing you to speak to your contact before you pass a call through to them. So if this call is, again, for John, but I want to fill him in on the call details before I pass this caller through, I can do a consult transfer. So I select consult transfer, click on John, and now it's going to put that call on hold while I am calling John. So when he picks up my phone call, I'm connected to him, and I can fill him in on all the call details prior to passing this call through. And when he agrees to take the call, I simply hit the consult transfer button again, and that call is passed through and I drop out. And again, that's called a consult transfer. The last option for the current call is, let me bring another one in here, is simply inviting another user into the phone call. So I can select invite and I can click on a contact, and it works like a regular Skype for Business conference call where it would invite them into the phone call with myself and the caller. I can actually keep adding names as well. I could create a larger conference. I could just invite someone in, make introductions, and then drop out and allow them to continue the phone conversation however I wish to do that. One other thing to note is when you have a call on hold, maybe a call that rang back or one that you simply had on hold, you can access all of your call options by clicking on the menu button on the call that is handled there. So there I see all my different transfers and options, and I can transfer to someone right from hold here. Alright, and just to reiterate again, a simple transfer is simply selecting answer, selecting your transfer mode, and clicking on your contact. Now you'll notice safe transfer for me is a little bit darker blue there. I have that selected as my default transfer mode. That means when I answer a phone call, it is automatically in transfer mode, in my transfer mode of choice. I select that by going into options, clicking on transfer, and selecting my favorite transfer mode. So whichever mode I find I'm using the most, I can select that as my default. Now that means when I answer a call, I know it's going to automatically be in my preferred transfer mode and ready to go. So when I answer this call, I can just simply come over here and click on my contact because I know that it is already in my preferred transfer mode. So it truly makes it a one-click call transfer. Alright, moving on to your contact groups here. These, again, as I explained earlier, are just simply contacts that you can organize into different locations, departments, however is most efficient for you. And if you have groups set up in Skype for Business already, they will simply import into Attendant Pro once it's installed. So no need to reset them up. For your contacts, you do have a number of one-click options here as well. You saw me transferring a phone call by clicking on the phone icon, but I can also, with one click, send it straight to their voicemail or to their mobile phone. I can open an IM for them. I can open an email for that person. Email callback reminder. This is a very handy feature if you have a caller that does not want to leave a voicemail but wants a call back from one of your contacts. With one click, I can open I need to bring a current call in here. With one click, you can open a callback reminder. So we have a call here. They want to call back, but they don't want to leave a voicemail. So I'm going to select email callback reminder, and it opens an email to that contact, and it pulls in all the current call information, all the caller ID information, so I don't need to type it up. So the date and time they called, the phone number they called from, all that information is pulled in, and I can simply hit send, and that callback reminder is passed along to CJ. You can also open a calendar view for that particular person just by clicking the icon, and provided that permissions are there, you can view that person's calendar. Down here at the bottom then are just some more in-depth information for whichever contact you have selected. Shows their title, department, location, things like that. This field over here also shows related contacts, so I can see who their manager is, who their assistants are, who else is in their department. And this can be helpful if my contact's not available. I can find someone else that may be qualified to handle this phone call by looking at this panel right here. I also want to explain one feature that we call Transfer Advisor. Transfer Advisor is a tool that will recommend a few contacts for you to transfer to when you answer a call. So Transfer Advisor remembers history, previous transfer history, and call history. So when a call comes in, it will remember if you transferred to a certain individual previously, and it will list that contact here as a possible recommendation. So when I bring a new call in here and answer it, you'll see Transfer Advisor is going to give me a few suggestions right here. So these are suggestions based on history that it is fairly certain I'm going to want to transfer to. So that can be a helpful recommendation. For example, if someone called in last week and spoke to someone, but now they don't remember who they talked to, Transfer Advisor may have some suggestions for you to give to them. All right, and then moving on to contact search. This is fairly straightforward. I can simply type in someone's name and the search results will populate instantly, and obviously it will narrow down as I type. Looking at my search results, I can complete a one-click transfer. I have all those one-click transfer options for my search results just the way I would my contact groups over here. So it's almost just as fast to search for someone you're looking for, and you can find them very quickly. There's also a search bar here that can help you narrow down. If you didn't have a particular name of someone that you're looking for, this can help you narrow it down using other credentials. For example, I could select managers in our sales department, and it would narrow it down to just those people that qualify for that. Or I could search for IT at a certain location, and it would narrow it down to just those people. So you can quickly and easily narrow it down to a list of contacts that are qualified to handle the phone call and transfer to any one of them. Just quickly, a few other features that I'll point out, but won't go real in depth into. There's some quick access shortcuts that you can create in the options panel, and they will appear right here at the top. They're designed to be one-click shortcuts to a number of different actions. Whatever you do frequently or on a daily basis, you can create a shortcut for it. A few examples. I have an email here with directions to our facility, all filled out and ready to go. I click my shortcut key, enter an email address, and hit send, and that task obviously is completed quite a bit faster. Individual contacts I can set up as keyboard shortcuts. So if throughout the day I transfer to Sheldon frequently, I can set him up as a quick access shortcut and assign him the keyboard shortcut Shift F3. So when a call comes in, I simply hit Shift F3 and that call is transferred to Sheldon. There's also an IM here that I can program that with one click it will send an IM to my colleague or to anyone that I have specified. If on a daily basis I'm sending him a notification about stepping away from my desk, I can just program that as a pre-saved IM, and with one click that is completed. Alright, that pretty much covers the main operation of Attendant Pro. Again, it's pretty straightforward. Your call answering and transferring, you're simply clicking on the contacts to transfer to, and hopefully this will help speed up your task of reception a little bit.